those moments where you do something so embarrassing and then you're like, hey, well, maybe I'll just play dead until everyone goes away. So this is summer. I want to say I was about 11 years old and we were going camping in Alaska. Things were pretty awesome. We were with our cousins. We were like the travelers, Christopher Columbuses, together taking on the tundras of Alaska. So this one day, we decided to go ice fishing, and when I say ice fishing, I mean literally ice fishing. We saw a glacial river and there were chunks of ice floating in it, and we really wanted to get the chunks of ice out. I mean, it's not every day you see giant ice cubes. This is like seeing one of those Kool-Aid commercials where there's like a wave of blue and there's ice cubes and it all goes into a punch bowl, but there was no punch bowl, it was just a glacial river. And there's this little dock, so the four of us head out onto that dock and we're like, we're gonna get all the ice. I still don't know what we were planning to do with that ice. So there we are in the middle of nowhere on this dock fishing for ice cubes. Our pile is getting pretty high, I must say, but I was feeling a little like I was letting the team down. I hadn't really gotten many of the big chunks of ice out. I'd been contributing like little ones here and there. So I look out into the glacial river and I'm like, okay, how can I be a good team player here? And I see it. The biggest chunk of ice yet, floating towards me from this glacier like an iceberg. I look at the dock, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wait this out. I'm gonna just stay here with my arms reached out till it's time to grab that sucker and put it in the pile. So it's getting closer, and suddenly I panic. Oh no, what if one of the three of them gets this big ice cube first? And although the other three probably didn't even see this ice cube, in my mind they were like fighting to the death to get it. So I'm looking at the ice cube's looking at me, I'm reaching out my arms, it's getting closer to me, and I, without knowing it, am also getting closer to it. And before I know it, I'm in the middle of a glacial river. The first thought in my head was accepting death, like I'm so embarrassed that I'm okay if I just die. But then I thought better of it because I'm like, wait, my webkins are gonna starve if I die. And then finally the third thought, where did my ice cube go? And right about when I was wondering this, my sister reaches in and pulls me out onto the dock. I realized this glacial river was more like a pond, and I also realized I'm still alive. So I think I spent 5 minutes just kind of burying my head in a dock before I realized eventually I had to get up and face my entire family.